This video is about coordination and cash and voucher assistance. Simply put, the coordination of humanitarian response is necessary to ensure that the right people get the right assistance at the right time. Humanitarian coordination involves bringing together humanitarian actors to ensure a coherent and principled response to emergencies. The aim is to assist people when they most need relief or protection. Humanitarian coordination seeks to improve the effectiveness of humanitarian response by ensuring greater predictability, accountability, and partnership. Coordination involves assessing situations and needs, agreeing common priorities, developing common strategies to address issues such as negotiating access, mobilizing funding and other resources, clarifying consistent public messaging, and monitoring progress. Leadership of coordination depends on the capacities in country and the population of concern. In responses where the host government is prepared to do so, national or local government may take a lead role in coordination. In many, but not all responses, coordination is led by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, running intercluster coordination functions. In contexts where the affected population is primarily made up of refugees, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees leads coordination. And in certain contexts, other organizations, including Red Cross organizations or IOM, have been responsible for ensuring effective coordination. In a response in which the clusters are rolled out, OCHA typically provides an intercluster coordination function to ensure coherence across the whole response, avoid gaps and duplication, and to address issues which are relevant for multiple clusters. The UNHCR intersector coordination mechanism has the same objective within a refugee emergency context, where UNHCR collaborates with partners to coordinate sector responses to support efficient and effective coordination and delivery of a response. So, where does cash and voucher assistance fit into this? Because cash, in particular multi-purpose cash, can be used to meet basic needs across multiple clusters, and because its use is defined by the recipient, not by the agency delivering the transfer, it doesn't fit easily into the sector-based humanitarian architecture. The question of who is responsible for coordinating cash across clusters and how this should work has been a long-running and tricky issue in humanitarian policy debates. In different contexts, cash coordination is managed differently. Almost all contexts now have a cash working group, which leads or supports cash coordination. And there are many great examples of cash working groups which have played a critical role, developing strong tools and approaches to effective cash coordination. Cash working groups work differently in different responses, and there is currently no global agreement on how they should work and how they should be led and resourced. Most cash working groups have the same broad functions and responsibilities, but leadership, scope, and other ways of working vary from country to country. Why the specific focus on cash coordination? Simply put, because cash is a special case in overall humanitarian coordination, and because strong cash coordination is an essential part of effective response. Why is cash coordination a special case? Because cash, unlike other forms of assistance, can be used as the recipient chooses to meet basic needs across multiple sectors. This is a particular issue for multi-purpose cash, which is designed to meet multiple needs. And why is cash coordination important? Without strong cash coordination, the quality of the cash and voucher response is compromised. For example, people in neighbouring communities may receive different transfer values. The value of grants may not be enough to cover basic needs, and partners may not have the information needed to understand and mitigate risks. The increasing use of joint delivery platforms presents a further impetus for improved coordination. As new operational models develop, including the UN Common Cash Statement and the 15 NGO Collaborative Cash Delivery Platform, there is a need to ensure that these are linked into overall systems and contribute to system-wide learning. And that's another important role for cash coordination. What does this mean for our work? As we've discussed, there's a lack of agreement on who is responsible for cash coordination and what the role of the cash working group is. This has led to competition over leadership of cash working groups, lack of connection between cash working groups and the clusters, lack of clarity over their role and scope, and under-resourced cash working groups. 90% of those people that we interviewed for the State of the World's Cash 2020 said that the lack of a decision on where cash coordination sits and who leads it had had serious operational impacts. The relationship between cash working groups and the clusters or sectors is a complex one. Some cash and voucher assistance is delivered under specific clusters, but where this cash is unrestricted, its use is determined by the recipient and may not align with a specific sector. Cash for food or cash for protection, for example, may in fact get spent on a range of other goods and services. And multi-purpose cash, designed to meet multiple basic needs, does not have a clear home in the system as it cuts across multiple sectors. In contexts where an intercluster coordination group is in place, this is supposed to be responsible for ensuring the effective coordination of multi-purpose cash, but this has been interpreted differently in different contexts. The Global Cluster Coordination Group has a dedicated cash task force who have attempted to develop guidance for clusters in working with cash working groups, but this has not so far been successful. Many of the global clusters, including protection, WASH, education, nutrition, and health, now have CVA experts or task teams supporting the development of evidence, guidelines, and capacity for how CVA can effectively be used to deliver sectoral outcomes. And so what should a cash working group do? Well, cash coordination has two broad dimensions. Firstly, technical coordination, which is about developing and sharing technical standards and guidance that underpin quality cash and voucher assistance. And secondly, strategic coordination, ensuring the consideration and appropriate use of cash across the response. In the absence of official global guidance, CaLP has set out a list of the key functions of cash working groups and guidance on how these can be effectively carried out in the cash coordination tip sheet. We'll run through the 10 key functions of a cash working group in the next couple of slides. What should a cash working group do? Support the effective coordination of cash assistance across the response, including multi-purpose cash. Lead and coordinate assessments of cash feasibility within and across sectors. Provide technical support to coordinated needs assessments and technical support and leadership to multi-sectoral response analysis for optimum inclusion of cash in the HRP based on evidence. Facilitate the development with the clusters of the minimum expenditure basket and develop recommended transfer values. Promote the use of common mechanisms, standards and tools across partners for harmonised, quality and accountable programming, including joint responses through multi-purpose cash. Develop and disseminate updates and infographics on current cash programming, including multi-purpose cash, and support the coherent monitoring and reporting of multi-purpose cash. Engage with clusters and other relevant actors and advocate for the efficient and effective use of cash, including multi-purpose cash, throughout the response, supporting quality outcomes and accountability to aid recipients. Number 8, identify and address key challenges for the CVA response, including but not limited to identifying delivery channels, advocating with government on regulatory and legal issues, identifying and mitigating key risks, including data protection risks, and ensuring strong and harmonised accountability to affected people. Engage with relevant entities such as government, financial service providers, and development actors to ensure that humanitarian cash and voucher assistance is well coordinated with and complementary to other financial flows that reach people in need. And finally, review capacity building requirements of cash working group members, clusters, local actors, and government partners, and develop strategies for addressing gaps in skills and knowledge. So here's a quick recap of what we've covered on cash coordination. There are 4 key points. First, because cash meets multiple needs across sectors, it poses a coordination challenge. Second, Effective cash coordination is necessary for strong, efficient, accountable and timely responses, and it can enable the use of joint mechanisms. Third, cash working groups around the world have emerged to fill this gap, and great progress has been made at the country level in furthering cash coordination. Finally, the lack of a global agreement on who is responsible for cash coordination and what it does remains an impediment to effective response. Thank you so much for listening.